Now, for the lady, there's a scenario that takes place. A lady will be in a defined relationship, marriage or courtship, or in a relationship where they are not married. There's no official marriage this thing, but they are together and they're having kids. Now, if the man is a busy person, he travels a lot, he has his job that takes him far away, or is a football star, like it happened, a Cameroonian player whose two children were not his own. You go and play ball, goes away, and some people have this thing, they'll keep the wife at home, keep the wife in the place where his own family lives, or where her family lives far away, and then he lives somewhere else. So you have that situation whereby it's possible that some people in that kind of relationship, because they don't have the companionship of their husband, end up having affairs, and that affairs leads to pregnancy. So for somebody who is married that have an affair and she's pregnant and she wants to keep the pregnancy, it's very unlikely that she will say the pregnancy is not her husband's son. It's likely to say he's likely to tell the husband that she's pregnant for him. Especially if the husband comes once in a while and they've had sex, so you could easily explain it that way. So that is why you end up having paternity fraud in marriage or in stable relationship, where the man is not always around, and the woman plays around, has affairs, gets pregnant, and just tells the husband I'm pregnant. The husband assumes it's my own, so you can have that scenario. Now, even people who are married who are not having an affair, there are times a woman has some children and she doesn't want to have kids soon. We always encourage go for family planning. If you don't want a pregnancy to happen, you go for a family planning. Even for those who are trying to you don't encourage playing around, you don't encourage infidelity, but for someone who wants to ensure that there's no pregnancy, you don't want to carry a pregnancy for someone else, I don't want the husband to take responsibility for a pregnancy that is not his own, to avoid issue of paternity issues later. Wouldn't it be wise for such a person to be on family planning? Wouldn't it be wise if for any reason you don't want to carry pregnancy? Wouldn't it be wise to be on family planning? For those in a stable relationship, instead of doing induced abortions and all that, wouldn't it be wise for them to be on family planning to prevent pregnancy? Because the issue is often unwanted pregnancy. The lady is not ready for that pregnancy, and the pregnancy happens and she wants to keep the pregnancy. So if you don't want that pregnancy, right? If you didn't want it, why not take preventive measures so that you don't get pregnant? And that is why we have different contraceptives available. There are pills, there are injectables, injections, there are implants, different ways of preventing pregnancy which can be used. Because it's a sad thing that you be in a relationship with somebody for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 40 something years, only for the man to find out that the child is not his own. What do you think the prospects are for that many years of betrayal? many years of lying, you know, it's quite bad. There are some people that it has led to very dangerous consequences for for the parties involved, you know. So to avoid the issue of paternity fraud, to avoid putting pregnancy on somebody who is not responsible for it, why not go for family planning? If you're on family planning and you miss your pills, you miss taking drugs, if you have, or the person is using condom and the condom got broke, there is emergency contraception that could be used within the first 3 days to 5 days of the sexual activity. Emergency contraception drug that can be taken to prevent pregnancy in case of a burst condom, in case of unplanned, unprotected sex, to prevent pregnancy from happening. Why not do that to avoid the headache and the guilt of years and years of keeping a big secret of carrying a pregnancy for someone else and then giving it to another person and then leading somebody along for years and years, betraying trusts, betraying so many things, you know, and all that. So when it comes to this, for the man, you don't engage in unprotected sex. You don't engage in sex without use of condoms or without the lady being on contraceptive if you are not planning for pregnancy. And if you want to prevent the problems that could arise when she gets pregnant. And a lady coming to tell you she's pregnant and you get married because she's pregnant, remember, the pregnancy may not be yours. And that's the truth. It may not be yours. It's not a question of not wanting to keep responsibility. You just note that you can take responsibility, take care of her. When she gives birth, if you can afford it, now the thing is that not everybody can even afford to do a DNA test because it's not cheap, because it's not available everywhere. If you can afford it, it's good to do a DNA test. It's good to do it. If you are not sure that you are the father of that child, it's good to do DNA test early to be sure, so that years later you won't come around and say, oh, I took care of a child that is not my own. So if you know early that is not your child, if you still want to take care of that child, fine, but you do it with knowledge with informed knowledge of what is the true situation of things. And for the lady, fraud is fraud. Lying to people, covering up things and all of that. If you don't want to lie, you don't want to carry pregnancy and say this is someone's for A when it's for B, you use contraceptive. If you're having regular unprotected sex, you're already married though. It's just that there's no certificate or there's no ceremony or there's no exchange of cola or whatever it takes. But having regular unprotected sex, you're more or less in in a union. And as such, if you don't want pregnancy, you use contraception. You go for family planning. Family planning is not only for people who are married. Family planning can be for people who are single. Go for family planning and choose a method of contraception to delay pregnancy so that you don't carry something and not act fraudulently. Because the thing with being fraudulent, the thing with telling lies, the things with trying to accuse somebody falsely of something, eventually the whole thing will come out later. And when it comes out later, you know, you'll be in a worse state of things. It's better to conduct things properly. So these are the things. Paternity fraud is real. It's happening. It's real. You shine your eye. Paternity fraud is real. And what is paternity fraud? Somebody tells you that you are the father of a child that is not your own. It's happening. And they know. In many cases, they know you are not the father. But they just know you are more responsible. You have a job. And such, you are more likely to take care of them than the other person. The person that doesn't have a job will have more time for the sexual activity now. But he doesn't have a job. The person that has a job will be working and working, gets tired and doesn't always engage in it. The person who is not working have all the time in the world. So at the end of the day, the person that is not working is more likely to get the person pregnant than the person that is working. But guess what? When they get pregnant, they now remember responsibility. And now remember that the person that is not working will not be able to take care of her, take care of the baby, and take care of the costs that comes with it. And then they now put it on the person that is working. See the irony of things. So this paternity fraud is something that is happening. And this Anos case, if you listen to the 1 hour 18 minutes of Deji Adeleke, the father of Davido, you see this is a clear case of paternity fraud. That the mother of Ano and the grandmother of Ano wanted to constitute. They wanted to play paternity fraud on Davido and Davido's father. But the good thing is that Davido's father already know his children. He knows his last born, Davido, that Davido plays around. I know that they are rich. I know that different women will come and say, Davido got me pregnant. So he has developed a system whereby anybody that comes and says Davido got me pregnant, okay, the child is delivered. Let's go and do paternity test. Let's go and do a DNA test to confirm. Yes, and I'm thinking this is not the first time they've found that Davido is not the father of a child. It's not likely the first time. So they may have learned from it, and he has put up this system, like this, And the good thing is that if it happens that the child is Davido's child, or the child of one of his other children, or the child of his nephew, they don't mind taking responsibility. They are rich. The Adelekes are very rich, and they have old money and new money. They are rich in all the sense of being rich in Nigeria, and as such, they can take care of many grandchildren. The only thing they want to know is if it's actually their child. So that people don't play a fast one on them, But it's a good thing when you listen to this Davido's father. You really feel his heart, and what he has done. He's lost his wife, Davido's mother, years back, and he has done well in taking care of his children and his grandchildren. And I have enormous respect for him from this video that I watched. I really wish him well. I wish him good health, long life, and prosperity. When somebody is good and kind, like Davido's father is, you pray for those people. Because in this world we live now, that is full of wickedness and mean people and unkind people and all that. When you see somebody who is good, who is kind, who is generous, who doesn't only look at the mistakes of people, but try to help people, giving scholarship to 3,000 people at any given time. When you see people like that, you pray for them because they are rare. Those people are rare in this world we live in. And it's good to see examples like this so that they'll set examples for others. That you can be a billionaire and still be kind hearted and have a good heart, and not just be a billionaire that will just be driving the latest cars, driving a fleet of cars, showing off your private jets and all that. If those father is not that, you know. So it's good to see an example of Deji, Adeleke, so that younger ones growing up can also look up to him. That is not all about coming out on social media and showing off. Those who really have the money, the real money, they don't show off because they know they have it. It's people that who don't have as much. Any little thing they have, they try to show off because of that inferiority complex. Those who have it know they have it. They don't have to flaunt it. It's there. They know it. And it's generational words that is not going anywhere. It's there. And children unborn, grandchildren and great grandchildren, their own is set, and to live a simple, calm, matured, responsible, kind, generous life. What a worthy example to see and to appreciate and to emulate. You know, long life, good health to Deji Adeleke because he truly deserves it.